Mr. Ruppersberger, excuse me.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
that
It takes
straight one of these
a long time to get it right, but you did it well. Thank you. First thing, I want to acknowledge the leadership of both of you. Throughout my years, I've worked with you in Iraq, Afghanistan, and you're some of the better leaders that I've worked with, and you're doing a great job, and I want to acknowledge that. I'm going to ask two questions, one of each. First thing, I'm deeply concerned about, and this is to General Milley, I'm deeply concerned about efforts to reduce our defense top line to previous year's level, especially as China increases its own military spending each year. If we don't prioritize investing in our national security today, I fear we risk a much costlier fight with China down the road, whenever that may be, whether it's 20, 25, 10 years, 20 years, 30 years. General Milley, can you please describe the strategic advantages we would be handing over to the Chinese Communist Party if the 2024 defense budget top line were to return to what it was in fiscal year 2022, or if we were to pass the budget a year late?
Well, in both cases, we would have to cut a significant amount of programs. Congressman Cole just mentioned artillery, for example. We know that artillery inflicts 70% of all casualties in warfare. We know that other things, shipbuilding, for example, F-35, all these programs would have to get cut back, and that's unfortunate. The other thing that would be cut is readiness. We know that if budgets aren't passed on time, you can't do multi-year contracts. You can't lock in for industry the amount of ammunition, the amount of platforms you need, et cetera. And then for training and readiness, we've gone through this drill several times. We've got all kinds of analysis that shows that our training would be reduced significantly. Our exercises, last year, for example, we did, like I said, 63 just last month, 63 exercises around the world. We did 23 CTCs. We've got guys going through all kinds of aviation training. We're dropping a lot of bombs. Our pilots are flying a lot of hours. All those things would come down. All your readiness levels, everything that's been achieved over the last 3, 4, 5, 6 years, 7 years, all of that would start going in the opposite direction with continuing resolutions, or if you went back to previous budgets. I think it would be very significant, and the risk would increase with China. It would be the wrong signal to send.
Well, I think there are a lot of people who agree with you. There are others that don't, and it's important that we get the facts out. And as I said before, you two have a lot of experience in this role, and we're going to have to rely on you a lot. Secretary Austin, and building off of what I just talked to the General about, my second question for you is about the impact of potentially reducing the Department's civilian workforce to offset top-line cuts. As you know, the Department faces a lot of challenges in hiring and retaining its civilian cybersecurity workforce due to attrition and loss of talent to the private sector. And I do represent NSA, and I have for 20 years. How will cuts to the Department's civilian cybersecurity workforce further exacerbate this problem and make us more vulnerable to cyber attacks by foreign actors?
Well, it'll have a significant impact. As you know, cyber threats in this day and age are enormous, and they come from every corner of the globe. And so the force that we've developed, I think we've done a really good job of putting together a significant capability that allows us to protect our interests and support our overall national defense strategy. We need the right people. We need the talented people, to your point, sir, to be able to continue to do the work that we're doing. Now, we've really pressed hard to make sure that we're going after the right people. We're providing initiatives. We're mindful of the fact that this is a very, very competitive field, and so we have to do what we need to do to make sure we get the right people and we can retain the right people. But to your point, if we cut those kinds of people, then I think it'll have a significant impact on our warfighting capability.
Thank you for your testimony, and I yield back.